Yo, yo, how we doing? How we doing? Hope everybody had a good weekend. This is a nice looking daily here in the oil basket. Big picture wise, right up near the highs. Then you got these little wicks. Might be a possible swing trade setup for me. DJT and Fun. Fun did not want to participate in that bounce. Got smoked. DJT continued highs into close. Might be able to get up into that 35, 36 range, and then look for a short trade. El Jefe. Quite the move in 3 days. Tesla off the back of DJT. Speeple, little bounce there on Friday, but rather illiquid. Yo, yo, neato. No real plan on something like this at this point. Illiquid bounce so far off the highs. Foxo plan there from Friday was for any parabolics. I wasn't super interested in a bounce, given how the gap acted, but on any parabolic into the day one resistance. And we pretty much got that, almost a double top. Once you get the hard crack, looking left, sub 75, failed follow through, and never saw higher. DXYZ, this thing's getting into A plus territory. 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Basically 3 days with volume, but 4 days once the move started. 10 to 40. And if we go far enough left, we got all this overhead resistance here from 40 up to 100. And volume's increasing each day. And it's starting to speed up. I like that little pullback into close, squeeze out after hours, possible gap up, shove, and then red roll. Frey had played this one from the watch list. We got that little rounding action, failed fall through, want VWAP act heavy. Once it goes red, breaks its opening range lows, a retest, you get that 210 to 180 fade. Any early entry up here from the 220s, I did participate up there into the VWAP crack and lower high. And I was out by this 190s. But it did turn out pretty well, right into prior line here, volume profile, where it started here. I was looking for that 170 to 180 range. So at this point, if it has a second red day, I'd look for a backside bounce on Tuesday. And if it holds up, possible breakout through the 240s. Would be not opposed to either, but just going to be waiting for more information. Honestly, I'd like to see 180s continue to hold and get that secondary leg. TMQ did not pick a trend out of this little wedge. So going to wait for it to break 110, 115 or break below 90 cents to $1 and wait for one of the directions to pick. XOM we talked about, possible dips with risk on 119-ish, and once 122 builds, I think could head higher. Elwis, pumpers walked, and so did the bid. So this should just fizzle off to lows off of any strength. So we'll be looking for pops there. NXL, bit of a buyer in the tape here. Just notable. It's coming up into prior daily resistance, but it hasn't really extended itself there. It's just been a steady walk up. And then I just noted some quantum names in Qubit and QBTS. There's a bunch of other quantum names. But they're starting to get a bid. You had those nuclear names too, in SMR, NNE, OKLO, all still holding up. And then you got these quantum names in QBTS. And Qubit. I'm liking DXYZ as well. Use the lows, set off the open as a guide, like Frey on Friday. Kind of. We had that pull back, I believe. This one here. So it pulls back for a couple minutes. This day broke its opening range lows on its first day. So you had the opening range lows set there, 1350. Shove, opening range lows. So if you were shorting a gapper, that would have stopped you out. But the last 2 days it hasn't. It has held red. Each day hasn't gone red in 4 days. So that's definitely a trend shift. I like having the overhead resistance as a backstop. And history of 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Gap down, holds red, and you get a 100 down to 55 pull, 40% red day. So prior resistance right in here. You got resistance and support there in the 27.5. You got volume profile here in the 24s. So ideally gap up. Get a, if I got Frey's action tomorrow off of DXYZ, if I got a gap up, shove, and then a VWAP failed follow through setup, I'd love to join something like that. Gap up just means more range to the downside on something like Dixie's. Like something like this. So you get the gap up, this little fail follow through, retest. You can get short on this bounce, risk the highs. But it's definitely in A+ territory where I think it's worth putting risk on. Not saying it has to do it on Monday. I'm prepared for if it goes red, if it fails to fall through, if VWAP acts heavy, if opening range lows confirm, all these things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things start to line up, then I think game on. So that's definitely top watch. It could want to follow Tesla. Like if Tesla wants to pull back, that'd probably give me a bit more conviction in Dixie's. Because it's up with the SpaceX and Elon basket. So If Tesla pulls back, then could add some more conviction to that one. Not sure how I feel about IONQ. Typically, I don't like to short earnings winners. This daily is getting a bit extended at this point. Earnings out were here on the 6th and after hours, and then 2 days following it. It's just been straight up. Morning consolidation, morning consolidation. So I'm not really sure I want to jump in head first on this one. Kind of feels like Palantir, like this, where you got that few days off of earnings. You get that opening range breakdown. But I just don't love it. I never have conviction in them. Historically, I'm red on multi-day runners on earnings, so don't love it. I think I'd rather focus elsewhere. And if I was going to trade something like IONQ, why not just put the risk of those two trades on something that's more ideal like DXYZ? So, fun is not following DJT with its bounces. We now have that 6 breakdown, so if we get a shove back into 6, I think you get quiet faders back down. DJT, 35, 36 shove into looking left, congestion zone, and then look to fade that one back sub 29s. Speeple, wait for more information. Foxo, I'd need more pops at this point, now that we've got a bunch of bag holders there for 2 days. I'd need to see a shove, higher the better, and then fade back to lows. DXYZ, main watch. Frey, waiting for more information. It's either going to break 180s, continue for a second red day, or it's going to consolidate up here, and then I can look for a breakout. TMQ, waiting for more information. Possible liquidity trap, waiting for it to pick a direction and then join that trend. XOM, large cap, swing trade idea, dips versus 119, 122 confirms, and possible multi-day, multi-week swing. Elwis, higher the better, failed follow through. Pumpers walked, so could look for something like this. Once they fail, pop, and quiet lows. And I think that's about it. Good to go. We can wrap it up there. Chat not as active today. It is Sunday, so it's usually a bit better during the week, but I can wrap it up there. Everyone, the YouTube.